Today, we're going to talk about the energies of irritation, frustration, and anger. Hi, my name is Shasta May Hernandez, they, them, their pronouns, and I am your non-binary spirit guide. These energies often come up during many different points of life, specifically things like grief, in boundary work, in relating to others, in feeling a sense of a loss of control or power, and in general in kind of like moving through different life stages, right? Leveling up your life in some way, shifting your life in some way, transforming yourself in some way. And these often can come up or look like things like blocks in your life, blocks emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Maybe they can appear physically in your world around you. It may seem like things are being blocked in your path, or you are being blocked in your path, or your ability to move forward on something or with someone. It can also feel like moments where you are in maybe what might be called to some the void, or in that feeling of being lost and unsure, in self-doubt, in fear. These other energies might be underlying your irritation. They might be underlying your frustration. Maybe even a deep sadness or a despair or anguish, can also be underlying things like frustration and anger. And oftentimes, if we can get to the point and have the courage enough to name what you're feeling, then you may get to a point where the energy of irritation, the energy of frustration, the energy of anger may begin to tame, so that you are able then to work with that energy and channel it into something new, into something else. And sometimes also you can work through or work out these energies. Very specifically and literally, you can work out, do a physical activity. You can also channel these into art. And specifically when we're in energy states where anger is inspired or is felt, oftentimes there's deeper underlying issues around that really need to be addressed. And you can speak directly to the emotion, to the feeling of irritation, frustration, or anger itself. And you simply can ask yourself, you can simply ask, hi irritation, hi anger, hi frustration, what is it that you need in this moment? Identifying also where it is on your body can also be a helpful way to really get to the heart and the core of what it is that is inspiring this feeling within you, so that you then can work through it in a healthy way for you, in a way that works for you. And finding and tweaking and refining what this is for you along your path, and seeing how in different situations you might apply different tools and strategies to work through these energies, to overcome these energies, and to understand them within you and in your current situations or in the world around you. Then you can begin to really move out into the world from a place of understanding, from a place of acceptance and compassion, especially when you encounter these energies in other people. Oftentimes, if you are seeing these energies out in the world in others and they are affecting you, then it can really just be a mirror for what internally you have not been addressing or seeing within yourself. And if you are just waking up in these energies, or just something triggers or inspires it throughout the day, really sitting with self and addressing these issues and asking what it is that you need and how you can better serve yourself moving forward. And I'll just speak from personal experience, especially in terms of frustration. I often found myself in this energy a lot when I was moving through significant transformation in my life, and found that I would get into this feeling of being stuck, and that would create frustration from me. And what I came to see in my own journey was that I was really just getting in my own way and blocking myself from my own blessings, mostly because I was choosing to see things from a very specific perspective. And once I was able to not only name what I was going through, to see what I was going through, then I could really sit and embrace that moment as an opportunity to see not only into myself, but to see a way through into something else. That also, though, required that I had a greater vision for what it was I was wanting to move into. I also had a greater sense of purpose, and I also had a great sense of determination that I was going to get through it and overcome that feeling, get unstuck and be able to move past it, and a belief that it would happen, and working toward that and learning how I could shift my perspective to choose to see it in a new way and to choose to see it as an opportunity to learn and to grow, not only within myself, but in my life, and to transform my life. Did I and do I continue to overcome those moments? Now, in turning the lens back onto you, there are many, many tools and things that you can do to work through these energies on a spiritual level and from a more passive front, I would say. And this isn't to say that you don't have to do anything, but meditation, I find, breath work, I find also to be very powerful tools to really sit with these energies, to harness your energy around them, through them, and to be with them as they pass through you. I have found, especially in meditation, that allowing yourself to feel these feelings completely, to learn where they sit in your body, to understand the pattern of them in your life, within your emotional realm, within your mental realm, and how they present themselves in various situations of your life, can really help you become more intimately understanding of these energies themselves, and being able to see them more from an outsider's perspective versus attaching yourself to what the emotion is and that you are that, right? Oftentimes people will make statements like, I am X feeling, I am Y feeling, or instead of saying I feel this, or in this moment it feels like this, and naming the feeling itself helps you kind of detach yourself for a moment from what it is. And I find very specifically in meditation, being able to observe the feeling for what it is itself, outside of you or as something separate than you, and really communing with that energy can help you learn about it on a deeper level. And utilizing breath work with that energy, that feeling in the forefront of your mind or on your heart or wherever it is living on you, and really focusing your energy and your breath toward that to really work through it can also really help. Some other activities that I would also recommend are journaling, just writing in general. You can just free write. Also working out, doing a physical activity, yoga, working out in general, any kind of workout. I often found through my 20s, running and cycling for me were very specifically helpful for working through feelings of anger. And I found personally yoga helped me a lot with frustration, and journaling with irritation. I also have found, as I progressed through my Saturn return, which is around your 27, 28, 29, 30 years, as I moved into my 30s, doing a lot of work around the throat chakra, around your energy center, your third chakra energy center, which is the center of like working through courage, and working through both of those simultaneously really helped me in being able to navigate different situations and speak not only my truth, but also speak out boundaries, speak out when I was feeling these things, speak out in groups, speak out with individuals where I felt fear around speaking out, standing up for oneself, maintaining boundaries, speaking out your limits, speaking out your standards, maintaining your standards with your actual voice or sometimes with your physical body, can also help work through some of these energies. I would also highly recommend, if you have not checked out my video on cutting cords, I would recommend watching that video with one of these energies in mind and really going back into the root of where these energies have started for you and really cutting the cord from there, learning to detach from there energetically, and then working through new irritations, new frustrations, new anger as it comes up in the present moment, and really sitting with what do you need now. I will also make a special note, if you have been or found your place or yourself in a place in the past where you realized you were not living the life that you actually wanted to live, where you fell into something, a relationship, a work, career dynamic that you really are not happy in, or were not happy in, or was not actually what you wanted, but you stayed in it anyway. I often find these energies when I work with people come up more often in regular daily life things. And so if that is you, I highly recommend taking some steps back and really sitting with yourself about what it is that you actually want in your life and how you can actually take steps toward that life instead of what you're currently doing. And really, again, checking out that cutting cords video, getting to the heart of where these energies stemmed from within you, are stemming from within you, and working around that energy as well. Now, if you are working through these energies actively and you're finding that things still kind of come up for you and you don't feel happier or you don't feel any better at working through these energies, it might be time to really try something very new. And you really want to come at these with the energy of curiosity, right? The spirit of play, almost innocence, like a child, and really asking these energies at every moment, how can I come at you differently? How can I respond to you differently? What more do you need from me in this moment, And inviting energies like love can also be really, I want to use the word tender here, it invites such a different energy, especially when we're sitting with anger. Anger is so powerful. It is such a force, and it can be used when channeled very directly and in a way that may even help other people. It can be such a force and really transformative in some ways that I think can also be positive, can have positive outcomes, but it really requires a very good amount of presence, a good amount of boundary work and love as well. And that might sound different, it might sound a little off, but I have found in my own work around this, really inviting that energy of love, like anger, how can I love on you, is something that I have sat with often in my years, and it has transformed how I see anger, not only within myself, but in other people. And I especially find when you bring that energy of like innocence, that childlike innocence, it's almost humorous at times to see it in the world. And also when you're sitting with the heart space of it, the heart energy of it, I find in my personal life, it helps me to see another, right? And the pain that they may be carrying in their lives. And that's not from a place of, I need to go and do something for them. It's just seeing and understanding another human being having another human experience, because these energies are a part of our lives. They're a part of our humanity. And when we connect to spirit around them, to love, to innocence, to curiosity, we really find ways to channel these energies differently and to live our lives differently, more in alignment with what it is that you want and where that you really want to go in this life. I hope that this video has helped you a bit. Check out my other offerings and services in the description box below, and I will see you in the next video.